Hello to you, my fellow Dark Ones. How are you guys doing today? How's life? I have been thinking, before we start today's episode and I get my brand new purple tools, let's talk about our future plan. We're done with the pack. No, we have unlocked the ZPM age, we have also almost finished all of these quests up here, but if we want to move on to the ultimate voltage age, there are a few things that we need to do. The first thing is the crystal processor mainframe, which is a UV tier circuit. And if you guys remember, last episode we made an autoclave, which is making us the necessary chips. Do we have chips? Actually I like that. We should get chips. Anyways, before we get to the chips, this is one of our projects. The other project is water purification. It's a teeny tiny bit complicated, but not that horrifying. 3 of the structures are at the LUV age, and 2 of them are at the ZPM age. We have to do this in order to make the Mark II fusion reactor so that we can get americium. There is another humongous project called the monazite line. This is kind of optional for us, we don't have to do it right now, but I don't mind getting rid of that as soon as possible. So if we do everything correctly by episode 30, we should be at the UV age. That is a crazy amount of work to do, so let's get started. I get my tools. Alright guys, for me it is the next day and I have made a lot of tools. And yeah, I also made the bag of potato chips. All of the tools are made out of zirconium, and if you want to compare it, this is my normal wrench with vibrant alloy. Obviously the battery size is the same, but the durability is like 8 times higher. I'm really hoping that after this, I don't have to make tools ever again. Of course, if I'm not wrong, yeah, there is something called a Vajra, but I don't like that. I'm sorry, I'm a bit picky. Anyways, another thing that I really want to try and make is going to be the wireless crafting terminal. However, in this mod pack it does require a singularity, so I have a matter condenser and I'm pumping in water. That's actually an LUV pump, and there's another pipe over here. I don't really want to go that crazy. For the moment, that's a decent speed. Another very small update is that I have also claimed that 1 pure tier. It takes like 168 hours, so yeah. We will get the second one, don't you worry, I can also craft it. Anyways, I have mentioned that we have 3 main projects, there are also a lot of side projects, but from the main projects, we're going to start with the circuits. You know, crystal processors. Last episode we did make an autoclave which is going to take care of the chip, and today we're going to also have a second autoclave for, I don't know, other crafts. Yeah, we also have tons of crystal chip parts. For this purpose, we are going to make a few changes to our autoclave so that it would work constantly. So here is the output bus. In front of that, we're going to have a drawer, you know, so that the actual chips go inside. We are also going to have a hammer so that it will hammer down the chips into the parts, and we also need a hatch, like so. And also a stupid fluid extractor. I made the correct one. I always make the extractor by mistake. So the fluid extractor is going to take europium and it's going to give us fluid europium, which goes inside the hatch. And the hammer is going to break down the chips into these parts and it will put it inside the input bus. We need an export bus with europium for the fluid extractor and also a storage bus on the drawer, which is extract only. Yeah, we're getting europium. Perfect. It's going to eat through my entire supply of europium because, you know, this is an IV machine, so this is a massive tank, but it will work. I can always make more europium, you know, at least until I can make the monazite line. But it will put the chips inside the output bus, goes inside the drawer, and goes inside the forge hammer. And it will go on a loop if I have a conveyor belt. Yeah. Exactly. It's just that we don't really need to have 64 stacks of that inside the drawer. We can reduce it. Yeah, there is a storage downgrade which sets the base storage capacity to 1 stack. Oh, it's not expensive. So yeah, now it's 1 stack. And I also added a gold one which will limit it to 4 stacks. Cool. Yeah, exactly. 1 iteration is finished, the forge hammer started crushing everything, and we will always have 4 stacks inside this drawer. After a few loops, obviously. Now that the chip situation has been solved, and I think there has been a few iterations, yeah, we have 3 stacks. First, let's ignore the fact that I don't use the teleporter and I still use the elevator, but let's get to the circuit assembler. So in order to make the circuit assembler, we need an advanced circuit assembling machine from the LUV age. And actually, we need at least 2, for now. Oh, thank you. And since elevators and doors are garbage, let's find a hole. And we're going to scan one of those advanced circuit assemblers on a data stick. That's 2 minutes. That's nothing. The other circuit assembler, which is LUV, we actually have to assemble it inside our clean room. So let me try to get a transformer and set up the power. Ladies and gentlemen, the transformer is set. Here is our extra advanced circuit assembler. And we also need something called a slicing machine. I'm making the LUV version because later on we're going to need that anyways. Oh, and before I forget, let us also get a pattern for crystal processor, which is IV. Oh, patterns. So the transformer is correct. That's LUV. This is also LUV. Don't explode. Thank you. Also, you might notice that I'm still using my old tools. These are brand new and they're purple. I don't want to waste them. I know that we're missing a lot of things in order to make this, but let's see what. Really? Why do you have a pattern for niobium titanium wire? I don't know. I was sure I'm missing that one too, but okay. We have the raw crystal chip. We need to cook it inside the blast furnace in order to get the engraved crystal chip. And it has to be cooked with xenon, krypton, neon, which we don't have, radon we have, and argon. And helium? Yeah, so that's actually good. The main problem is that we're out of argon. Forever. Well, really not forever, but whenever this distillation tower works every 4 hours. Oh, it's actually getting full. So, correction, we're going to get argon, but it's never gonna be enough. Let's switch back to helium. The other gas, it cooks it faster, but it's a matter of availability. A lot of you have been mentioning that I should automate the blast furnaces using applied energistics, and well, fun fact for you, that's our AE2, pumping in the gases, literally. Now we need to do some automation, so minimum blocks required, 6. That's 6, and that's 8. So I can remove 2 on you, and 2 on you. Hence, I just wanted to mention, this is going to be a great moment for all of us. There you go. We're going to have some patterns. One will be on circuit 11, circuit number 1. I might have to change some of the numbers, but we will see. So we're going to cook, I don't know, half a stack at a time. Also, the main reason that I have never ever automated this, in case it was not obvious, is that, for example, over here, I'm cooking, I picked up probably the worst thing because I can't pronounce it. I picked up the It takes a crazy amount of time to cook. So, for example, if you want 2000 of it, your CPU is going to be busy for the next 4 hours. Yeah, there's also a mega blast furnace, but that's a bit far away. So, engraved crystal chip, can I have 100? Lovely. You are cooking it every 2.6 seconds. Wow. We also have to set some filters. That should also be a quest. Yeah? Well, part of the quest. That engraved crystal chip has to be engraved into crystal processing unit with something green. I don't really know which one is green. It can also be emerald, so why not? So can I have 10? We know it's crafting something. Oh yeah, crystal processing unit. 8.6 seconds, oh boy. But that at least should be a quest. Thank you. Now please make me an actual crystal processor. These are quite expensive, but we need the one. It's being crafted right in front of our eyes. No, but thank you. That should be another quest. No? Actually, I do know why. We have to hold 1 stack of every SMD stuff. And then they really want us to make the assembly line for circuits. Okay, it's fine. So it's not a quest, but we can make it. Okay, so if you look at the quest line, there are some fetch quests, which I fetched them. There's also a quest for 1 stack of nano processors, so there you go. We cheated. Because I didn't craft them using the assembly line. But now here's what we're going to do. We're going to have our LUV slicing machine. There's a slicer blade. And then we're going to cut our processor. Thank you. I think the only thing that we have to do in order to make an imprint is just this. Now we have a circuit imprint for crystal processor. And that should be a quest. Thank you. Well, I guess now it is time to move on to the circuit assembler. We are going to need a brand new circuit assembler. We put it back into the system, and now what we need to do is to have a pattern. That is a pattern for the multi-block circuit assembler, and I guess we put you over there. Doesn't make a difference, everybody's almost full. So, can we craft it? Lovely. It's gonna take ages. Yeah, 1200 seconds at LUV. Well, see you in a very long time. Alright guys, for me it is the next morning. I just literally woke up and this is going to be our 3rd circuit assembly line. The controller. Since we were out of Europium, I also decided to reactivate the fusion reactor. And yeah, we're making way more, don't you worry. However, one of the things that I have realized is that we have tons of singularities. Thank you. What? Okay, I got too many, I guess. So let's get a bunch of wireless booster cards, a wireless crafting terminal. Oh, thank you, thank you, thank you. I already got the rest. And where do we want to set it up? I guess it doesn't really matter. We can put you here. Wireless access point goes there. We give you some boosters. 20,000 EU, that's too much. I'm sorry, I'm a cheap person. That can work. And we just link it. Why is it charging up? Ah, it's the wireless charger, okay. That makes sense. So I have access, right? Lovely. I'm also in the process of assembling the second autoclave. Because this guy is going to be just used for chips, I also need to make lapatronic crystals and other stuff. Even for making the imprints for the chips, I had to add one more autoclave to the clean room. On a very positive note, having the wireless terminal helps a lot. So, are you complete? Yeah, exactly. The other autoclave has been assembled. Let's try to order some lapatronic crystals and see how it goes. Do you show me what you're crafting? Okay. You know, it would help testing if you turn it on. Okay, it works. 5 at a time. Wow. Also, you might notice on top of the dual interfaces, I do have a tank, and there's a good reason for it. So the quest book and also the wiki tells you to use sub-networks, and I don't like using that because that uses too many channels. This is why I prefer to pump it into the input hatch, the fluid. However, when you have a fluid inside the interface, it actually doesn't go into the conduit fast enough. And that's a problem that I have with this machine too. So I have a buffer, it will pump it instantly into the tank, and then we can extract it at a faster speed. So for example, here I have the same problem with the superconductor, it takes a while. You see? Very slow. The solution for it is actually super easy. We just have to have a tank on top of each interface, like so, and then hook up the conduits to that guy. That's it. So let's order the superconductor one more time and see the difference. The difference is night and day. Cool. There are better conduits so I can transfer the fluid faster, however I don't think I can use GregTech pipes. Cause then it might take the fluid from this interface and put it inside another one. Not great. Also you might notice that we don't have matching coils, let's fix that one too. The next tier of coil that we have to make is Naquada alloy. Not expensive at all. I don't know, can I have 512? Maybe not. 256 for now? Thank you. A bit of time later, and I think we have enough alloys in order to make this stupid coil. We just want to upgrade our blast furnaces, then we use those coils for other machines. Yeah, we have everything for 48. This process should be relatively fast. However, for our circuit assembling area, we also need to have a lapatronic supercapacitor. If you guys remember, we already have the capacitors, which are EV, but now I just want to go with LUV and we need 18. What are we missing? Not much. That is being cut. That one is not being cooked. At least not as far... Oh, yeah. We have enough, I guess. Let's just spread it between different furnaces. That's gonna be too much power. Nope. 440,000 EU. I just noticed you can't make 18 at the same time. We don't have the CPU power for that. It's okay. We craft them 2 by 2. That's why I made the second autoclave. For the engraved lapatronic chip. It was a pain to craft until right now. Also, this is going to be the area for our circuit assemblers. Let's get to work. Okay, so it has been a while later, and yes, we are fully operational. We have 6 circuit assemblers. They are a bit weird, they take 6 ingredients, however, they're 7 long. Because the final one has to be the output, but the configuration is exactly like the assembly line. So I could be wrong about this, but correct me if I'm wrong. These processors, these ones which have this shape, are the ones that we always have to craft. Because for example, if you want a high voltage circuit, you're not going to make the processor assembly, right? Or this one. Or if you want an EV circuit, you're not gonna make the nano processor or the workstation, you just make the quantum processor. So I counted, there's a total of 6 of them, and yes, there's one for MV, one for LV, and one for ULV, but those are not a big deal, cause we can craft them incredibly fast inside the clean room and we don't need an assembly line for them. So hence, you might notice I have 3 imprints. One of them is the nano processor, which is high voltage. The imprint has to go into the controller, and it's gone. So yeah, this guy only makes the nano processor. The second one will be the quantum processor, and the third one, the crystal processor. So I have already made a pattern for nano processor. We have to remove the old one. Yeah, this guy over here. It's redundant. And let's see if we can craft it. We might miss a few patterns. Actually, just a platinum bolt. So let's order one and see how it goes. Okay, we have the ind alloy. Wafers are in. The bolt is not. Where's the bolt? Oh, okay. I need speed upgrades. We're making 16 at a time and it takes 30 seconds. Yeah, it takes 10 seconds inside the clean room with an LUV machine. So it is worth it. Cool. I'm using the cheap recipe, you know, with these kind of wafers. For quantum processor, I don't think I can do that. That should be ZPM. Yeah. Well, we can wait a teeny tiny bit. I can have this pattern. It will work. Although the entire point of doing everything is to make the crystal processors way cheaper. So I just ordered 16. We're waiting for it. Let's hope I didn't mess it up. Oh yeah, it's working. I thought I messed up the filters. So 60 seconds for 16. That's amazing. Oh, and by the way, just in case you're wondering how we're powering everything, I do have a supercapacitor, which can hold 54 billion EU, and just 9 EV solar panels. That should be more than enough. And I have my crystal processors. I'm so happy. Now we have to go higher. We need the crystal processor assembly, the LUV. So the way that I'm understanding how everything works, we first have to make it inside a circuit assembler. And once we have the one, we can make a slice out of it. Just the one. Okay. It takes ages to craft. I forgot to enable auto output, but yeah, it's ready. We just cut it. We get the sliced circuit. We convert it into an imprint and we get the quest. So this imprint is going to go inside the fourth assembler. And eventually what is going to happen is that we're going to break this one at the next stage and replace it with the wetware processor. So from now on, everything is temporary and it's going to be upgraded. So can I make it? No. The only thing I forgot. Can I have it now? Lovely. Oops. No. No merge. I forgot to remove the old pattern. Now craft it. So elite circuit boards take a fair bit of time. Crystal processing units take a fair bit of time. And I don't really know how to solve them yet. But other than that, I can't really find anything to complain about. These are going to be super fast. The crystal processor assembly. 2 minutes. Can we have 2 LUV energy hatches and upgrade this to ZPM? Okay, 1 energy hatch, any layer 3 casing. It does say overclocking works, so it can accept 2? I don't know. My fellow dark ones, I have taken care of the ultimate crystal computer, which is the ZPM one, and now we're moving to the mainframe. That's the UV one, which takes a bit of time. Oh my goodness. And after a very long time, it's ready. Obviously we have to cut it, which seems so stupid, but that should be our final imprint. Oh, thank you. Thank you. Oh boy, this one is expensive. Why? Why do you need palladium? I set up the pattern and I don't remember. I have solved the issues and yes, we can order the crystal processor mainframe. It will craft 16 of them, although I don't really need it right now, so let's not waste the resources. Or maybe we should have just one iteration, just to make sure that the machine works. Another very important thing is that our Naquada alloy coil is ready. And yeah, I do understand it's the same color, but it's different. Slightly different texture. The old coils, we are going to use them, I don't know, for the furnaces, why not? And also the autoclave. I think now it should work a bit faster, so I can't really complain. However, we have other problems. That's one of them. I cannot make the ZPM energy hatch for a very long time, so I think the only thing I can upgrade is actually this guy, the laser source hatch. Currently, we are operating the IV one. Maybe we can move on to LUV? It's not that expensive. Do I have a pattern for the other ones? Yeah. Oh, cubic zirconia. Yeah. Well, I mean, we have a decent number. We can just convert it. Cubic zirconia is not something super expensive, but it's a pain to craft. It just takes a lot of time. I think I can use the engraver in order to upgrade it to exquisite, but I haven't made the pattern for it yet. So I don't really know when we made the laser engraver, but there are a few things that we can do to it. First off, the energy hatch was IV. Now we can go to LUV. I have also made the LUV laser. Previous one was IV glass. We will switch it with LUV. It's a pain to break. So why are you incomplete? LUV energy hatch, LUV glass, LUV laser. Oh, that was the wrong one. I hate my life. That was the target hatch. I needed the source hatch. I think it's this one. Oh boy, I'm going to need way more cubic zirconia. Maybe not. 9 more. That's not bad. I'm sorry about the problem, but yeah, I needed the laser source hatch and now it's working. The timing is the same, but at least it's doing 3 items in parallel, so it's triple the speed. That should help me make circuits a bit faster. However, we have another problem. This chemical reactor. That specific chemical reactor is making us every single circuit board that we need. For example, if I want some, I don't know, advanced circuit boards, let's say 100, nothing happens. Oh yeah. You see, it's making a circuit board every 0.2 seconds, which is great, right? I mean, generally speaking, I can live with this speed. But we are now at a place that we need the elite circuit board, and if I want 10 of them, see what happens. Oh, that's where my palladium goes. Okay. I just saw the foil. So it has to craft like a bajillion different circuit boards, obviously, but the elite circuit board takes 2 seconds. So all in all, one of them takes, I don't know, like 6-7 seconds? How do we fix that? Good question. So we are going to go with a mega chemical reactor. The most expensive part of the mega chemical reactor are these fusion coils. You need 7 of them per each chemical reactor, and I was really hoping that I'm going to save these ones for my water purification plant. I need a big chemical reactor. Although now that I'm looking at the recipe, we can craft another 7. We don't have the CPU, but it's fine. So what we're going to do is that we're going to use the mega chemical reactor, which is capable of doing 256 items at the same time for the circuit boards. And also the power ICs. The only problem is that I need 64 large chemical reactors in order to make this. Also, for this tier, we can specify nano processors, because that's the only HV circuit we're ever going to have. So, can I have 64? Stainless steel? That's embarrassing. I have solved the problem with stainless steel, and yeah, we can craft it. That's really and truly a crazy amount of resources. I know that down here is a bit of a mess, but there are 3 or 4 more machines that I have to fit here, and then we'll try decorating it. But for the moment, our chemical reactor is going to be here. And I think it's going to be a teeny tiny bit frustrating to automate, so let's use a subnetwork. We're gonna have storage buses like so, fluid storage buses on the input hatches, an import bus on different tanks like so, and we just connect them like so. Also, you might notice that our chemical reactor is actually missing the controller. It takes another 15 minutes, but it's fine. This is also going to be our main network, yellow. I think this can work. We also need output hatches. You know, just in case I want to process some sort of a fluid. Yeah, for routing everything, something like this should work fine. We also need to have a controller because we're using more than 8 channels. It's actually 12. So we shall have a dense cable on top. This should work. I'm happy. And my mega chemical reactor is not ready yet. The mega chemical reactor is ready, but you know what? The quest book always tells you, use any glass that you want. That's not a wand, that's a wrench. I'm using 2 LUV energy hatches and well, we have to switch the glass with LUV. Good thing I had some left, otherwise that would have taken ages as well. You're still not okay. Why? Yeah, exactly. The back. That's why I have 9 left. Please be fine. No? Are the hatches and buses important? It can be anywhere. Okay, I think I have figured it out, and yeah, it has formed. It's actually quite a pain. So energy hatches cannot be at the bottom, they have to surround the coil inside. So any of these 8 blocks, and it can accept 8 energy hatches, although I don't really know why, but I guess we will figure it out. The maintenance hatch also should touch the coil, and the glass surrounds the coil, not the entire structure. Then every single input is at the top, and every single output is at the bottom. Why did I place that block? It's like bedrock, takes you 15 minutes just to break it. Anyways, we are running fine. Let's order some circuit boards. I don't know, the elite version? You're not connected? I'm an idiot. It wasn't connected. Now it is. So for making the actual circuit boards, we are not going to consume any fluids. Fluids are directly being pumped in inside this input hatch. And I have also increased the number in the recipe, so it does craft 16 at a time instead of 1. And fun fact of the day, we have to break the machine again. I forgot the input hatches. What? Are you done? Oh, that's actually quite nice. It's finished. Yeah. That was awesome. We had another chemical reactor over here making us these power wafers. We need to change them too. So if I want to craft that one involves a fluid. 60 seconds for 6. Again, not that horrifying. It's every 10 seconds. Generally speaking, this is an amazing machine, but where this guy shines is for actual crafting. For example, let me order some naquadah dust. I'm crafting this with naquadah in, so it's going to be fast anyways. 1000. Every 5 seconds I get 68. And 400 sodium. That sodium goes in the wrong place. Come here. Yes, as I was saying, the sodium will go inside a superbus and into an electrolyzer. Because I do need to recycle it and I don't want to send it back to the system. Besides, it's a source of oxygen, so why not? It's just that we're getting thousands of them. Well, if worse comes to worse, I can just put a drawer as a buffer. It's not a big deal, but I'm happy with the results. And with that, ladies and gentlemen, I think it's also a good time to wrap up the episode. So thank you so much for watching and I hope you enjoyed it. Till the next one. Bye bye.